Alright, what's going on, DS106? So, I've already done one tutorial on how to make a GIF, but that was using GIMP. So this time, I'm going to show you how to make a GIF using Photoshop. And yes, I'm going to continue to call it a GIF, not a GIF, because I'm American, and that is how we pronounce things incorrectly. So this is one, whoops, this is one GIF that I just made from scratch, and I'm going to show you how to make it. So this is what the end product is going to look like. So to get started, go ahead and make a new document. You could title it anything. I'm just going to say GIF. Don't worry about the dimensions unless you want something specific. So if you guys didn't really know how a GIF actually works, it's just a sequence of frames or layers, if you want to, whatever you want to call it, just getting shown in a picture. It's just like if you drew on multiple pages and you made a little sketchbook and flipped the pages to make a stop motion kind of animation. That's basically what a GIF is, but digital. So what we want to do here is just kind of make a ball kind of bounce off the page. So you can go ahead and make one ball up there, and what you're going to do is come down to this little paper fold over here in the bottom right corner. It says create a new layer. Go ahead and create a new layer. Then make the ball bounce again. Create another new layer and make the ball bounce again. Create another layer, make the ball go down. Make it hit the ground for another layer. Another layer bouncing back up. Another layer going back up. And then the last layer, it going off. Okay, so now if you click through this and hide each layer, you can see that we have multiple layers. And one thing I noticed that I've done wrong is that the background layer is white while all the other layers are transparent. So what we're going to want to do is change that. Whoops. Flip that around, make that white. That white. And you can make this from the beginning if you just go ahead, instead of making the first layer, the background layer, have a dot or anything on it. Just go ahead and leave that blank, start a new layer, and then start putting the black balls in there. So now that all the layers are filled in and are white, what you do is, since I already have it open, the timeline, go to up to window, scroll down to timeline, make sure your timeline's showing. And then when you get to your timeline, press create frame from animation. Alright, see that put the first background layer layer into a frame over here in the timeline. Then go over to this nifty looking menu symbol over here and press make frames from layers. And that will import all your other frames. So what you want to do is going to come down to here and press forever. So that way it will continuously run as a GIF instead of just doing it once or twice. And there you go. That made an entire GIF. Now, one thing, if you want to really, challenge yourself and make a really intricate GIF, is when you go over here and you're on each individual frame. So it's like go to layer or frame 2. Over here, you can see that layer 1 is the only one shown. It's the only one being shown. Or if you go to frame 3, layer 2 is the only one being shown. And what you can actually do is have both of them being shown at the same time if you want to, but since I painted over, it won't show up. Now you can make a GIF pretty much from any pictures or video, depending on what you want to do. And you can get really elaborate with it. I've made some very elaborate GIFs, and recently I made a really good one. If you want to go check that out on my DigiArt blog. But that's basically how you make a GIF, and if you have any kind of questions, you can shoot out to me. There is one unique way of saving a GIF on Photoshop that you need to do first in order to get it on the web. So what you want to do is come down to File, Save for Web. Not Save As, Save for Web. Because otherwise, if you save it as a JPEG or something like that, or you just do a normal save, it won't be able to play on the web. So Photoshop gives you a lot of different options as opposed to GIMP. You can come up and change the color settings, the dither settings. Make sure this is selected as a GIF. I haven't personally played around with the colors, and I know if you're working with photography or film or anything, you're trying to turn that into a GIF. One thing I know that each of these options here, either being perceptual, selective, adaptive, or restrictive, will actually change how good the GIF will look with its colors, and you just kind of have to play around with those when you're making it. But I normally just choose selective when I'm making something like this. Go ahead and press save, and depending upon how large your file is, it will take a while or not. And what I found, if you're using a Mac, if you're using a Mac, you can run into a few problems depending on the actual file size. If it's really large, you have a lot of layers, or just the overall image is super large, sometimes it just won't save. And I know it's been an issue with Photoshop recently, and they haven't solved it. It's actually been an issue for a while now. But if you're running into that issue, you'll know what I'm talking about. As soon as you try and save it, it won't save. Go back and reduce the size of the image, or try and reduce the file size in some kind of way, and it'll automatically save it pretty well. But that's our end result right there. You have a GIF. You can upload it to the web pretty easily, just like you upload an image and put it into your blog.